This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. All right, and before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Shai. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles, bishops, elders, and Great Millstone, and shalom to you, hopefully elect. All right, and again, 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days, perilous times shall come. All right. And with that being said, again, just through the Spirit, as brothers be saying, as far as staying ready so we don't have to be ready. All right. Something's coming. All right. And it's just one of those things where it's just like, man, because we know our salvation is nearer than what we believe, than what we think, is closer than what we think, but Lord willing, it's sooner than soon. All right. Because we know at any moment, or as we should know, at any moment, this thing can go down. All right. All hell can pop off. All right. So with that being said, just to shed light, to sound the alarm, to blow the trumpet. All right. On this potential, because there's been these attacks. There's been these rumors that said speculation on these attacks that's supposed to take place. Now, as I've said before, when it comes to specific dates and detail down to the T, all right, we don't know. All right, we don't know exactly when things are going to happen. We just know that eventually it is going to pop off. Because these guys give me these specific dates and stuff like that, which that's why I did a video a few days ago going into how, not allowing this to be a stumbling block. Because I always refer to it like these cycles, right, where things are happening, and things are die off, things are die down, things are calm down, and then things are picked back up. All right. But Lord willing, this is it. All right. As far as the situation out there in the Middle East, the so-called Middle East with Israel, just with all these different pestilences that are on the rise, and just with everything that's going on right now. That's why, just speaking as a man, we should pray that, hey, Lord willing, he doesn't take his foot off the gas pedal. All right. Lord willing, it's full pedal to the metal, And then with that being said, just get into it. As far as he says, rumors and speculations. All right. They're suspecting some type of attack to take place. Now, I'll just say it. All right, but again, don't let this be, Lord willing, it's not a stumbling block, because what's today? Today's Thursday, October 12th, right? But supposedly this the leader of this Hamas group has basically called this, so to say, this is like a call to action, right? A call to action, worldwide, all right, for these supposed attacks, and this is in regards to, again, going out there, what's going on out there in the so-called Middle East, mainly with Israel. All right, the situation that popped off between Hamas and Israel. All right, with the back and forth that's been going on all week. So supposedly, this leader of this Hamas group, he's calling for a worldwide event, and some places they're suspecting something to take place of some sort of an attack, because as of right now, you know, the main point of focus or place where these attacks are going to take place is America, out here on Babylon soil, American soil. All right, people are suspecting something to take place as of tomorrow. Like I said, today is October 12th, Thursday, October 12th. All right, but they're suspecting, well, this guy, according to this guy, that this leader of the Hamas group, he's calling, like I said, this so to say, this call to action for tomorrow, Friday, not so coincidentally, Friday the 13th. All right, you know, and some places are already on the edge. Some places, you know, you have this which I believe to be a tear, because he looks like a Jake, but I believe him to be a tear. This is my humble opinion, my vain opinion. Talking about the mayor out there in New York. All right, basically just again, so to say, shedding light on possible attacks, to be on the ready, being on the ready. All right, you know, being on high alert for possible, again, attacks on the particular group of individuals that we can't talk about that run the world. All right, the Job 924s. All right, those people. All right, with the synagogues and things of that nature. Just, you know, just being on high alert. But what I find interesting, all right, I was watching a few videos, and mainly this guy, the Angry Prepper, done several videos on him based off of his videos. Made out of good points, because I mean, and this is one of those things where this could be something, it could be nothing, but of course we just have to wait and see, right? But this guy, he made a few good points. The Angry Prepper, he made a few good points in regards to how with these because again, this is what this guy, this new what's his name? I don't even know his name, but the mayor out there in New York, because more than likely, you know, going back to this guy, the leader of the Hamas group, basically calling all these Muslims, and, you know, basically for this worldwide attack, all right, on those particular group of individuals that we can't talk about because they run the world. All right, the Job 924s. Now, and Lord willing, I'm wrong, because we want to see this thing go down already. All right, we want to see this thing pop off. But more than likely, you're not going to have this mass worldwide attack on, you know, those particular group of people. But you might have, and this is what this guy, the Angry Prepper, he was talking about. All right, and I tried to do a screen record lesson on it, but I'm just not able. I wasn't able to do it. But he was making valid points about how you're always going to have those lone, you know, those lone survivors, those specific individuals that are, you know, down for the cause, and they're gonna, you know, do something. All right, you're always gonna have those few individuals that are gonna rise up and do something. So with that being said, and again, that's why I titled this with that. I titled it, all right, because even if it doesn't happen tomorrow, like I said, we can't get caught up in the specific dates and things of that nature. But nevertheless, eventually we know it's going to pop off. But nevertheless, because it might not happen tomorrow, but, you know, in any event, you could possibly have one of the, you know, those few individuals that are down for the cause, because for those that don't know, there are already protests throughout the states here in Babylon, out here in Florida, New York, Chicago, Philadelphia. All right, people are siding with the Israelis, and you got people siding with the Palestinians, so-called Palestinians. All right, and there's clashes taking place. There's people, there's riots and people are fighting. All right, and a lot of this whole situation that took place roughly a week ago, almost a week ago. All right, with Israel and Hamas. So there's been protests, riots, and like I said, there's been clashes between the two forces, people picking sides. All right, but it's just rather interesting because, again, don't be surprised, on another note, they could really more so crack down on so-called Shem. All right, I'll just say it like that. There could be more crackdowns on what's being said on the internet, but not only that. All right, because as the brother's been saying for years now, and hell, even going back to the apostles, how they mentioned years ago of another September 11th type event to take place, another T attack. All right, TERR. All right, Lord willing, you get my drift. Another T attack. All right, something's going to take place, and like I said, it just had me thinking because of the few points that this guy Angry Pepper was making. Because again, something or nothing might take place tomorrow, all right, or within the next few days or whatever. But you might have those few zealous individuals down for the cause that might, rise up and do something, and that could pave way for the persecution of the ministry, because a lot of these Israelite groups, man, they've been. Let me get this real quick. Let me get this. I think that's Jeremiah. Bear with me real quick. I'm sorry, Isaiah chapter 65. Isaiah 65 and 11. It says, "But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forget my holy mountain." Because, a lot of these Israelites, they forget the mission at hand. They forget the end goal, man. They forget the end game. A lot of Israelites, we all come into this truth for the most part, and there's just this certain feeling that we get of how can I put it? It's just a certain feel that we get, man. This urge, this sense of urgency that we get for salvation, basically. But because the Lord doesn't come when we want him to, a lot of Israelites, they end up just saying the hell with it. They lose patience, they fall out. All right. They forget, like the scripture says, they forget their first love. They forget why they came into this truth in the first place. Because, again, ultimately, at the end of the day, the Lord woke us up to this truth. We want salvation, but things appear to be dragged out, long-winded. Lord's taking a sweet time, and Jake, they just forget they lose focus. They forget the mission at hand. All right. So that's why you have a lot of these so-called leaders in Israel, man. They, do their own thing, bring their gimmicks, talk about rap videos and subscribe to the Patreon and all this other nonsense, But nevertheless, it says that prepare a table for that troop, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. So A lot of these Israelites, man, a lot of these Israelite so-called leaders, man, in Israel, in Israel, all right, they're basically paving the way. You know, they make Esau's job a lot easier, all right, because a lot of these Israelite groups, they do have a 501c3, all right, you know, and included in that 501c3, man, hey, when you look into it, matter of fact, let me just see real quick. I'm just look this up on Google real quick. Because somehow, some way, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, they have to include, they're going to include this thing of ours. They're going to tie it into terrorism. All right. You know, and when you look into that 501c3, all right, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, it lumps you up. It basically categorizes you in that, in this type of a particular group of individuals that will conduct some type of, you know, that will conduct these certain type of, activities, terroristic activities. All right. You see, man, and again, a lot of these Israelite groups, they have the 501c3. So, with that being said, to bring it back full circle, man, hey, like I was saying before, watching a few videos and just doing some research, you know, on how, you know, nothing, you know, major may take place, but you might have some of those overzealous individuals that, you know, might shoot up a synagogue or something might take place, and nevertheless they could somehow, some way bring that all back to so-called black Hebrew Israelites. All right, you know, those black Hebrew extremists, right? So-called black Hebrew extremists, and link it back to the ministry somehow, some way. You know, it's just a thought. All right, it's just a thought. You know, but nevertheless, all right, I'm gonna get this, because with all that being said, be careful. Speaking to myself, and, you know, to whomever this may concern, be careful. All right, because they could very well use, because again, this the leader of this Hamas group, he's calling for a worldwide, everyone, you know, to take action, to come together, and basically to do something. All right, to act, to do something, to cause chaos, something, because a part of Esau's narrative, hey, listen, when it comes to his they you know, Jake want to talk shit about us being fear mongers, which ultimately Yahweh Shema Shai is a fear monger. All right, but even under him, the Lord, listen, when it comes to Esau, he's a fear monger. All right, and the new face of terror, somehow, some way, shape, form, or fashion, again, he's going to tie it to this thing of ours. He's going to tie it to the ministry. All right. So if something does happen, again, I'm not saying something will happen, but if something does happen, it could be tomorrow, it could be next week, hell, it could be tonight, it could be right now as I speak. All right, whatever. You know, again, be careful. Just because we know Esau, he's going to use any type of excuse to blame the ministry, come down on brothers. You know, we know he's going to use any excuse. He's going to use all means. He's going to exercise all means to come against the prophets, to shut the prophets up. Right? But I'm going to get this in Tobit, chapter 4 and verse 14. Let not the wages of any man, which hath wrought for thee, tarry with thee, but give him but give him it out of hand. For if thou serve the Most High, he will also repay thee. Be circumspect. That's the point. All right. Be circumspect. Circum, which is, just short for circumference, which is, full circle. All right. As some brothers saying, as some brothers say, and as the saying goes, keeping your head on a swivel. All right. Circumference. All right. And spec is just short for spectate, to look. All right. Just constantly, just be aware, be careful. Matter of fact, before I jump the gun, reading on, it says, my son, in all things thou doest, and be wise in all thy conversation. So you see, the conversations that you have with these average individuals, because we don't know, there's all type of spies and agents being sent out. Because, best believe Esau, he knows where the men of the Lord reside. He knows where they dwell. So don't be surprised, man. Random people coming up to you trying to spark a conversation. When you be at the grocery store, you could be in the bathroom in a 7-Eleven. All right. And a random nigga will walk up to you trying to spark a conversation. What's your take on such and such in Israel and Hamas? Trying to get you caught up, trying to get you trapped up. Be aware, be careful. Because again, Esau, he's going to exhaust all his resources. He's going to use everything that he can to come against, you see those so-called black Hebrew Israelites, those extremists. Be careful. All right, be circumspect. Because, quite frankly, man, these, and that's why we got to try the spirits. We got to try these spirits because, listen, at the end of the day, these people, for the most part, we know it's for a few anyways. It's not for the mass majority. It's for the few, rather. So, quite frankly, these people, man, they don't deserve the truth anyways, They're already rejected. It's just a matter of the spirit being on you to really just, again, discern and just, man, this boneheaded Negro is not even worth, breaking down the scriptures, because, again, it's all a matter of discernment. We have encounters with these different people, and just through the spirit, you got to pick their brain. You say certain things just to see where they're at in the spirit, and some people, most of these people, they're not even worth breaking down. They're not even worth telling this truth to, man. They're not even worth it. So with that being said, again, just be careful. All right, be careful, because this could be. Because another thing, going back to this guy, I believe to be a terror, so I'm just going to call him that. All right, this terror of a mayor out there in New York, because again, they're on high alert with possible attacks and synagogues, and because of all these threats. So with that being said, they're talking about, and it makes sense, and that's why the scriptures talk about how, hey, when it comes to our spiritual fathers and spiritual uncles, right? When they say certain things, we may not understand, but like any father with his child, all right, any parent with the children, listen, just because they say something and we may not understand, just know that they have our best interests at heart. All right, they're watching over our souls, like the scriptures say. And I just say that because the order came down a while ago about just brothers really should stay off of social media, but especially that Facebook. All right, get off that Facebook. Delete that Facebook. Because going back to this terror of a mayor out there in New York, about how because of this whole talks of possible threats, and listen, we're gonna crack down, man. On social media accounts. All right, people saying what, and they're basically they're going to it appears they're going to crack down on these social media accounts. So be careful. And again, I'm speaking to myself, all right, because me, I don't give a shit, man. I don't care. I was just having a conversation with my little Satan, my demon, the other day about who do you think, she asked me, who do you think is wrong? And I said, man, all them niggas gonna die. I'm just to a point where I think I'm too frank. I'm too point blank, period. I'm just too honest, You see, because like I said, with this whole situation with Israel and Hamas, man, people are choosing sides. Man, all them niggas gonna die. But if anything, those Amalekites, all right? If anything, those damn Amalekites, those damn gutter rats, you know, but nevertheless, all them niggas gonna die, you know. And it talks about that in the book of Amos, how the Lord's gonna ultimately he's gonna clear that whole land out. He's gonna clear that whole land out. All right. The whole land is defiled, man. He's gonna clear it all out with those missiles, you know. So the hell with all them heathens, the hell with Amalek, the hell with all them niggas over there, man. And all these nations in general, the hell with all of them, you know. But it's all through the spirit, because like I said, I've been to a point where I don't care, you know. It takes a lot more and more. It takes a lot more for me to just somewhat act like I have sympathy and to act like I care. Man, I don't give a shit about none of this place and none of these people. I don't give a shit. But it's just really been taking a lot for me to just, like brothers say, you know, we're Superman, but we gotta maintain our Clark Kent. All right, we gotta, you know. So that's why I say, hey, I'm talking to myself. All right, we gotta be careful. We can't present the ministry blameless. We can't do anything stupid or you know, because that's what Esau's looking for. Like, see, aha, these so-called black Hebrew Israelites. All right, they're terrorists. They're extremists. You know. Now, you know, ultimately, it is going to come down to it, to where Esau, he's going to come down with that great wrath. But man, listen, just be aware, be alert. All right, be careful. You know, because hey, you might have some, like I said throughout this video, some lone, you know, I forgot the term, Salakia. Some lone wolves, I think that's the term. You know, those few individuals, all right, they're gonna say fuck it, hey, you know, they're gonna say fuck it, all right, because again, more than likely we're probably not gonna see a grand mass scale of all these thousands and hundreds of thousands of millions of these, you know, Muslims and whatever coming together and unifying. And more than likely we're not going to see that, but you might have a few of those individuals that are down for the cause to say, hey, you know, I'm not even going to repeat what they be saying, but you know, those few individuals that are down for the cause, and they're going to say, hey, you know, blow some shit up or whatever. Might see some attacks, all right, some attacks somewhere, all right, mass shooting over here and another one over there, and they can use that to blame the ministry. They can use that to blame brothers, because hey, again, brothers been saying it throughout the years. Hey, listen, don't be surprised, brothers, you know. And I did a video on this maybe last year about how, hey, when it comes to the whole technology of Esau and the what do you call it what do you call it, the the deep fakes, all right, all that stuff, you know. And I told my ribness, my demonness, you know, again last year I told, hey, listen, don't be surprised, man, you know, if you see my face, my voice, my everything, placed it on America's Most Wanted, local news, you know, if you know such and such, all right, my government name, he goes by the name Yawakal Ibad, right? That's, you know, that's my name, all right, Hebrew name, all right. He goes by the name of his terrorist name is Yawakal Ibad, and you know, we got him on video, you know, whatever, planting a bomb in home, you know, and somehow, some way they got this whole what do you call it, rap sheet. Yeah, he's been planning this for some time, and don't be surprised, man. I told my demon, don't be surprised if you see my face plastered on the news, you know. Don't be surprised, brothers. Don't be surprised. And I just say all that to say, because again, with these, you know, hey, something could happen. Not saying it's going to happen tomorrow, but eventually things will start happening to where, hey, more and more brothers are going to be blamed. All right, more and more we're going to be persecuted. All right, we're going to be labeled terrorist. All right, so on and so forth. You know, You see, and again, because a lot of Jake now, that's in the truth now, man. Listen, there are a lot of Jake, and we're just hoping that it's not us, because a lot of Jake is going to be offended, which is people say, hey, blessed is he that is not offended in me. Because listen, we're going to be offended. We're going to be, put out there to be the worst. They're going to paint us out to be the worst criminals, the worst type of individuals, man. They're going to paint us to be the worst type of individual, the scum of the earth. And a lot of brothers are not going to be able to deal with that, man. So-called brothers, a lot of so-called brothers are not going to be able to deal with that. But, it's coming. And it's looking like, hey, this could pave the way for that. It could pave the way for that. Of course, we just have to wait and see. But but not only that, man. Let me get this. Let me get this in Second Esdras, because again, with this whole talks of possible attacks, being on the alert. All right, a nationwide alert, man. Because again, this leader of the Hamas group, man, he's calling for a worldwide, hey, we all need to come together and get these niggas, man. Right? Because we know eventually America will get her cherry popped, as I always say, right? Because America, the virgin daughter of Babylon, right? America is eventually going to get her cherry popped. All right, when I say that, I mean in the form of invasions, which America's already being invaded. All right, there's already a whole lot of sleeper cells. They're just waiting, and that's what just through speculation, just through speculation. All right, because again, we don't know definitively. We don't know. All right, but going back to this whole 10-4 thing, affirmative action. All right, 10-4. All right, October 4th. That could have been the signaling of, hey, it's time. Right. While everyone else took that, they basically ignored the fact, and just another one of those alerts, and like an Amber Alert. We see those Amber Alerts where we're just like, for the most part, man, we're just like, man, we don't even pay no attention to it. But meanwhile, that could have very well been one of those things where it's like, all right, while everyone else is ignoring the fact, all right, as those alerts were going out, hey, them foreign troops, whoever's here, all right, hey, that could have been the signaling, the green light to, hey, such and such, hey, y'all get ready. And such and such date, we're gonna do such and such, and it's cold to me also thinking about it, because with the fact that America's main allies, all right, Saudi Arabia mainly, officially joining the BRICS, and officially this is supposed to come, is really supposed to kick in. What's that, January 1st? All right, which it should give us an idea of again, man, how close we are, because January 1st, all right, this is when this whole BRICS thing is supposed to, the BRICS currency is supposed to kick in, and but hey, all hell could break loose before then, and it just had me thinking, because hey, listen, when Saudi Arabia, all right, and a lot of these because if I'm not mistaken, my numbers could be wrong, with the BRICS, basically, just all in all these nations, just the BRICS, which is really the BRICS Plus right now, they basically, if I'm not mistaken, again, my numbers could be wrong, I believe that's like 80% of the world's production of the oil. I could be wrong. I have to double check. It's definitely more than half. But I think that the numbers that they came out, they said a while ago, it was like 80%, all right, of the world's oil is going to be through the BRICS. And again, Saudi Arabia, you know, and all these oil producing companies, these major oil producing companies, a lot of them, hey, they're joining the BRICS. And again, this is officially supposed to come online January 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So with that being said, listen, once this thing is in full effect, man, you best believe you see I'm in the parking lot. You see, all right, business as usual. But once this thing goes online, man, and it's crazy because I be in these stores and whatnot, and I just be looking like, man, all these stores are about to be overrun. All right, niggas are about to be tearing this shit up. All these stores are about to be, it's about to be empty shelves. All right, fights, shootouts breaking out, fire. This is going to be a complete madhouse. America is about to be a complete madhouse. All right, but I was thinking to bring it all back full circle. All right, and again, it's just a thought, you know, because by the time that time comes where these stores are going to be up in flames and all hell's going to be breaking loose, the troops will already be there. Going back to, you know, everything that I was just mentioning, all right, because all these foreign troops here now, all these nations coming through them borders now, with the talks of you know, a T attack, right? You know, this all could be setting the stage up for martial law, and like I said, just troops, you know, being activated, those foreign troops being activated, you know, reestablishing whatever the so-called order before. And come, you know, January 1st, come next year, Lord willing, all right, you know, with the establishing of the MOTV, because listen, we already have the Fed Now program, all right, that's up and running, and that's just paving way to the CBDCs, which eventually is going to lead to the MOTB, which, for those that don't know, has already been talks of the MOTB or the CBDCs coming in the form of a implantable device, you know. So we just have to wait and see, of course. All right, we just have to wait and see, but everything is being lined up. All right, again, you know, be careful, be circumspect. You know, something's coming. It may not take place tomorrow. Lord willing, it does. Lord willing, you know, as it's, what is it? It's almost 10 o'clock here. All right. Hey, Lord willing, we wake up and all hell's breaking loose, you know. But nevertheless, either way, we know eventually this shit's gonna pop off. Eventually. All right. Eventually. You know, we're not gonna be just speaking on these things forever, man. Eventually these things are gonna pop off. You know, and I just picture brothers being in that spirit of, man, about damn time, you know, about time. And it's cool because I like to think about 20. This was when I used to, because I used to watch it. I was a big NBA fan. All right, you know, so going back to what was that, 2011, 2012, you know, when this guy, this boneheaded Negro, this sellout, what's his name, LeBron James, all right, when he won his first NBA title, all right, after he won his first NBA title, the first words that came out of his mouth when he was asked, how does it feel or whatever, all right, his first words were, it's about damn time. So that's how I picture a lot of brothers are going to be in that day, man. Like, man, it's about damn time. It's about time. You know, it's about time. You know, but nevertheless, hey, again, stay on alert. All right. Again, this shit is, something's coming. It's brewing. It's been brewing. You know, and as a seething pot, man, hey, you know, when the pot's boiling, eventually, if you keep it boiling, if you keep the pot on the hot stove, eventually it's going to spill over. So eventually this shit is going to spill over. All right. It's going to spill over, you know. And real soon, it's all this shit's gonna be different. All this is gonna be different. Something's coming. So again, just be ready, be circumspect. All right. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get this in Revelation 18. Because we know at any moment, all right, this shit could pop off at any moment. We know. But to these simple Babylonians that think that this shit is just going to continue on forever, let me get this in Revelation chapter 18. Revelation 18, verse 7. How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So these people, they're comfortable. They're comfortable with being comfortable. And as brothers be saying, listen, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. All right. These people, they live deliciously. They're fat. They're just comfortable. Oh, that'll never happen over here. What's going on over there? That's over there. It's never going to happen over here. Okay. Americans think that you can't be touched. Well, again, America's about to get her cherry popped. All right. America's about to get her cherry popped. Invasions. All right. Listen, what we seeing out there in Israel, niggas partying and living it up. And all of a sudden, you got these goddamn paragliders. I thought they were parachutes. They weren't even parachutes, man. They were paragliders, man. Paragliders. Imagine that. You look up in the sky and you just see niggas and paragliders, man. What kind of shit is that? This should show you how this shit's all orchestrated, because all those billions of dollars that Israel gets from America, man, and supposedly they're supposed to have the best technology, and it's supposed to be able to detect anything as so much of a bird coming up to that dome, man. It gets detected. But yeah, you got paragliders coming through the sky, man. Come on, man. It don't make sense. And that's why, going back to what I mentioned earlier, hey, be prepared. You're going to have more of these anti-Shem, all right? People speaking out against those Amalekites. You're going to have more of that. Those anti-Shem, more crackdowns on so-called freedom of speech and things of that nature, especially when it comes to those big-nosed little hat people. All right? Because that's how you know who runs the world, because you want to know who runs the world? All right, well, you see who you can't talk about. But that's on another note. Revelation 18:7. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. Because I was making a point about what you see out there in Israel. All right. One moment people are partying, jumping, and that's cold, because you see the videos of the paragliders coming through, and then on another note, it's like on the next note, all these bodies have been found. It's like, damn, 1 minute you see niggas from the sky coming through paragliders, and then the next minute we found hundreds of bodies. It's like, god damn, shit, the massacre. All right. Hey, and that's the whole point. That's gonna be America real soon. Lord willing, sooner than soon. 1 minute this is gonna be like in the days of Lot, in the days of Noah, people just living it up, right? And the next minute, what the hell is this? Like we thought this couldn't happen here, and you're gonna have people, oh God, oh Jesus, let your God save you in that day, right? It says, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So that's the attitude of these Americans, these Babylonians. They think they can't be touched. Can't fucking wait to see this shit, boy. Ooh, listen, can't wait to see this shit, boy. can't wait to see this shit go down. These simple Babylonians, they think that they can't be touched. Ooh, boy. You know, can't wait to see, boy. Whoo, can't wait to see these, boy. You think it's bad in Israel? Shit, you think it's bad in Afghanistan and all these other places that all they know is war? Is war riddance. All they know is war. You got babies that have grown up to become, you know, young teens, young men and young women. That's all they know is war. That's all they know. Or shit. All right, that's about to be America's new reality real soon. Real soon, man. That's all these people are gonna know is just, like the scripture saying, 2 Ezra 9, dwelling in torments. That's all they're gonna know. 24/7, constant pain, misery, suffering. Like the scripture say, running from a bear, running from a lion, to run into a bear, to run into a serpent. That's all these people gonna know. It says, verse 8, therefore shall her place come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. So listen, eventually before the nukes come, all right, listen, all right, America's gonna be totally just overrun. All right, Slakia, I'm gonna get another one. Then I'm gonna close it out, Lord willing. And 2 Ezra 15. 2 Ezra chapter 15, and I'm gonna start at verse 33. And from the land of the Assyrians, talking about America, shall the enemy besiege them. And this is what's taking place. America's under siege. America's being besieged, surrounded, infiltrated. All right, from the inside out. It says, and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Behold, clouds from the east and from the north unto the south, and they are very horrible to look upon, full of wrath and storms. see, man, America's going to get besieged from all sides. This is a place of the land of unwalled villages. Is, you know, just anyone can come up in this bitch and just, you know, do whatever. But that's, again, just show you the pride of this nation, of these people, right? They think they can't be touched, right? This is land, the home of the brave, land of the free, whatever, however the saying goes, right? But it says, verse 35, they shall smite one upon another, and they shall smite down a great multitude of stars upon the earth, even their own star, and blood shall be from the sword unto the belly, and dung of men unto the camels hoe. I'm trying to get to the point. Bear with me, I'm trying to get to the point. I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna jump down to verse 42. And they shall break down the cities, and walls, mountains and hills, trees of the wood, and grass of the meadows, and their corn. And they shall go steadfastly unto Babylon, and make her afraid. So you see, one day it's just gonna be like I was saying earlier. You think what them niggas seeing out there in Israel, you thought that shit was bad, right? It's really gonna be some shit out of a Red Dawn movie, man. Times 144. All right, you know, those foreign troops, they're gonna get activated, and it's just gonna be like, man, what the hell? This shit's it's gonna come out of nowhere. That's why I read that Revelation 18, man, out of a sudden, in 1 hour, in one day. It's just gonna be, man, what the hell's going on, right? Actually, the point was actually in verse. So yeah, the point was in verse 33 actually. I read it again. 2 Ezra 15:33. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them, and in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among the kings, among their kings. So that was the point. All right, America being taken, on all sides. You know, America's, as a matter of fact, I think it goes on to talk about in this chapter when you read on about how America's surrounded by nothing but water. All right, you know, so basically anyone can just come in America and just, you know, have their way, just take over. All right, and that is going to be the reality real soon. Lord willing, sooner than soon, man. You know, America's going to get invaded by all these different nations, from the so-called Russians to the Iranians, just on all sides, man. All these nations on all sides. America's already being besieged. It's already being, you know, infiltrated. All right. So with that being said, is again, man, you know, brothers we can't stress it enough how America eventually, man, we're just gonna wake up and this shit's gonna be different. All this shit's gonna be different. All this shit's gonna be different, man. You know, America's gonna get her cherry popped. You know, this whole land is gonna get invaded. All right. You know, it's gonna make what's going on out there in Israel look like a cakewalk, man. As well as all these other nations that are catching hell and being invaded and, you know, besieged, man, all that's going to be cakewalk compared to what's coming to America, man. You know, but to those that have eyes to see, we see the stage is being set for these things to take place. The stage is being set. And not only that, as I mentioned in this video, hey, Lord willing, hey, the persecution, all right, because you might have little attacks here and there, but hey, that could set the stage for, you know, hey, we got to get these so-called black Hebrew Israelites, these extremists, they're terrorists, you know. So be ready for it all. Be circumspect. Be careful, you know. But I'm gonna end it off there. Lord willing, this was edifying. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. Lord willing, until the next one. Shalom.